You?
No,
Big
thank
deal.
you. I think that's a
But that's
compliment.
why I'm saying, you're one of those people that I would listen to because I understand where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
You're not saying anything out of
Malicious,
malice.
right,
You're,
yeah.
you're not saying it out of ego. You're not saying it out of, you're not pounding your chest.
Yeah, not even to talk himself up. Which
He
sometimes
never,
he should.
Yeah, he should, but he never does. But that's the thing I like about you is that, and I can relate to that because I always talk myself. I always say all these things, but I love that I can talk to somebody who doesn't. But you get me.
But he's genuine.
Yeah, and it's genuine. And, I mean, I think a lot of times people put on this mask to portray whatever. And I know you don't wear a mask.
Oh, I do.
But
It's a thin veneer, but I do.
Yeah, but
Really? Because to me, it just looks more like face paint.
Well, it's in Native American.
Yeah.
But
it's kind of like the
You
Jason mask.
saw that? You
Yeah,
saw that?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Jason mask. The one Kurt
So
played.
Really?
It looks like that.
Yeah.
You think he looks like the Jason mask?
Yeah, look.
Really?
This is
We
just
need to
pretty.
burn this side.
This is
Yeah.
just all pretty.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
all- It's kind of pretty isn't easy. I just make it look
Yeah.
that way. Okay.
But no, that's just how I feel about you. And
He woke up like
and,
this.
and like I said, I look to you as one of those people that I can admire and say, look, there's a real cool guy who doesn't take anything for himself. I mean, and you and I talk about this a lot.
Dude, what the hell?
Okay. Well, to answer your question, first off, thank you for your kind comments and sentiment. I really do appreciate it.
We scripted that.
Yeah, that's good.
No,
I wrote it, see?
Yeah, but to your question, what the hell is what fucking good am I to you otherwise?
yeah.
No, think about that. No, that's a serious question, and I say it with the profoundness of using the word "fuck" in it because that, for me, when I curse, it's because it's a notation of passion.
Right.
So if I'm sitting here at 57 and I can't bring value to you, what
Yeah.
fucking good am
Yeah.
I? And why am I even there? It's a waste of your time and my time. So when I look at my life, all right. So when I look at my life, the high level view, because we can talk for hours about this. At 14, I was a quintessential teenager, middle class teenager, right? At 14, my grandfather passes away. Family splits up. But my dad had some addiction problems, and the family didn't want him
Around.
right. So that means they didn't want me around. My family left me with my father
Right.
at 14. I had to, there's some hurt there, but I'm beyond it. But when your family tells you two fundamental things, when your family, your supposed family, tells you, yeah, Danny, you can come stay with us, but your father he can't come, which puts the burden on a 14-year-old kid to leave his father to perish on his
Right.
own, that fucks you up in the head.
Oh, yeah.
The second is when you're so poor.
Same as murder.
Yeah, same. Second is when you're so poor and you got to beg family for food at 14, and then you got to walk 3 miles one way to get it and carry it back into 2 Safeway garbage bags, and the bag breaks as you're walking back home. That stays with you for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I had choices to make coming up, and God bless, in the true sense of the word God bless God for putting people in my path. I'm not a religious person, I'm a spiritual one. Personal opinion, personal belief. I asked a friend one time, what's the difference? He says, and again, just reciting what he said that I choose to believe to be my way of looking at it.
And I want to emphasize, we all choose.
Yeah. He says, well, religion is for people who are trying not to go to hell, and spirituality is for people who've been to hell and back.
Yeah.
That resonated with me. God and I have had a long relationship.
Damn, that was a gut punch right now.
Oh, thank you. God and I has had a long relationship. I've cursed God on the edge of my bed. Fuck you. What are you doing to me? I'm trying to do my best. How in the fuck are you putting me in these situations, and why aren't you helping me? And every single time. And listen, this is not hyperbole. That's how I talk to God, because we're all God. There's all pieces of God in us. And I would,
He's everywhere
and my
and
Christian friends, I'm sorry if I offended you. I don't mean to speak in to God like that, but that's my belief. And God would always tell me, get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. So when I started listening to God,
Umpteen years later.
seriously,
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
yeah, because there's I won't share this openly on the camera, but you guys know some situations with my immediate family
Yeah.
that made me really just kind of go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And the growth in that particular family member is just it's universal.
Huh.
So here's the thing. None of that and I mean absolutely none of that, is by my own hand.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not by my hand,
Right.
whose hand is it by?
Right.
And I choose to believe, this is my personal belief, I choose to believe that there is a God. I choose to believe that God has a positive impact in my life, and I choose to turn my life over to that God. And when I did that, my life just plateaued.
You
Now,
know, that's
to your point, I mean,
yes,
not that,
okay.
because it's important. To your point, God says to me, again, this is not scripture. This is me and God having a conversation, which I do every day, several times a day.
Better
says-
than arguments you used to have.
So, there's enough assholes out there. Why are you needing to be another one? He goes, what good are you to people? What good are you to people who I bring into your path and present to you?
Right.
If all you're going to do is become them.
Right.
Now, not in a negative way. It's just that if he's presenting people to me with a situation, I could easily go, yeah, Rick, so and so such an asshole. That freaking naive, blah blah blah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is never saying. But
You should say though.
but if you did that, and
I kind of believe it.
and I'm fed, because I believe it's a feed,
Mm-hmm.
I'm fed with, like, I ask Rick, well, why is he looking at it that way? That's a lesson for you, and it's a lesson for me,
Right.
because with that, it's just like the martial arts. I'm on the mat, and somebody goes, we do it this way. He goes, yeah, I do it that way. Oh, I like that. I put that crumb, scrape it put it in my pocket. So when I looked at my life at 50, I blew my life up. Everything, January 1st of the year that I turned 50 to my September 9th that year, my 50th birthday, I went through them, and everybody should do this at least once. I blew my life up. I mean, everything I believed in. Now, the image I tell people is that it was like, you hear this loud explosion, I peek my head out of a hole, and on the ground is everything I believed in, from God all the way down to my marriage, to my children, to myself, everything.
Yeah, you should do that every few years.
Yeah, and so the basket I had, I'd pick up things that I still believed in, goes in the basket. A lot of things I didn't believe in stayed on the ground. Some of the stuff I broke off, I like that piece, I throw it in here. And
Wonder how the hell did I get this?
exactly. Well, how you get through that is, you hear me say this a lot, is conditioning.
Mm.
In order to have an orderly society, we have to all believe a certain way. And we're experiencing a lot of disorder because some folks are believing one thing and some folks are believing another.
Some folks are just believing the opposite of the other folks because they just don't like them.
Exactly. So I could be one of those folks, or I could be what I believe God wants me to be, which is just a decent human being who says, hey, Rick is viewing something from this position, right? Is Rick wrong? And who are you to tell him he's wrong? This is why I can never criticize martial artists. Who are you? Who am I? I mean, there's people out there who just do some stupid shit just because they've never been trained and they think they know something. But who
Judy
am I?
Chop.
Huh?
The Judy Chop.
The Judy Chop. He's funny as hell, though.
Oh, he is though. He's entertaining.
But who am I to be critical of that, right? And it took me a long time. I mean, I'm 57, so I just got this like over the last 7 years. But who am I to be that guy?
Yeah.
So if I can't bring value to you, then why would you want me around you?
It's funny that you say it that way, because at the end of the day, you have to choose to accept that to be true.
What do you mean?
Sure, you believe that God is the one telling you these things,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're not willing to listen and accept it, then what does it matter?
Exactly.
Which means you have to make that conscious choice to say,
Everything's a conscious
this
choice.
is the person I want to be.
Everything's a conscious choice.
And I think that's very important to point out, because as you're speaking in a very spiritual sense, you're bringing up a lot of great points in belief and structure and the way that we filter out our world, because that's the lens by which we judge everything.
Exactly.
But
If I can shine your lens for you, is that not a good thing?
right, polish it a little bit,
Yeah.
make it clear.
And you mine.
But a choice, a personal, individual choice, and not one that you do once in a while, but one that, like you said, conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do repeatedly,
Mhm.
every
It has to be consistent.
single
Yeah.
day,
Consistency is the key to
every
life.
single day.
Key to success, key to life.
You had said something earlier about consistency and how you saw what Danny says, what I say, and what Lane says, and that we're consistent in everything we say. We say it our own way, but it holds true to what the other two guys are saying all around, every time. And if there's anything that I ever taught Naeem, and the one thing that I always pride on what I did teach him, it wasn't the physical stuff. It never was about that. The physical stuff I knew would come later. But I think one of the most proudest things that I can say that I taught him and that I see he does on a regular basis is he won't lie to the student.
No.
You know, and you don't see that a lot in martial arts.
It goes back to ego. I mean, you know, you can't be the guy who's wrong on the mat. I was wrong on the mat today. You know, Green did the 12 strikes forwards and backwards. And
9 and 11.
Yeah.
I remember.
And candidly, you know, that's, again, I'm this guy about this deep. There's some things I practice, some things I don't, right? I practice it in my own way, but I don't practice it in the structure. And I screwed up. What did I do? Vince, I don't want to confuse him.
Yeah.
Because it's my responsibility in the position that I held on that mat during that time is to be the guy who goes, hey, I'm the guy who's screwing up here. Let me get you somebody who can help you. It took me a while to get there. But yeah, but that's the whole conditioning thing, particularly in the martial arts, because the instructor's never
But like I said, though, I mean, to watch this kid play, and he'll make mistakes, you know, and I'll see.
Where's the learning come from?
Right.
From those
exactly.
mistakes.
Exactly.
And what do I do when you make mistakes, right?
We talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you come in, you correct it for the student in a non like, hey, you fucked up.
Yeah.
No, you do it in such a way. Let me add one more thing. Let me further your understanding of what we're talking about here. And then I see it and I'm like, oh, that's what I was missing.
You know, I chuckle because what you're talking about it triggered today because we were at the workshop today. And so I'll share this little kind of behind the scenes with you guys. And we've seen this. You're working with somebody. It's like, okay, we're going to do this, blah, blah, right? It's like, and they do it something different. It's like, no, we're going to do this way. So, I'm sorry, sir, you know, but we do it this way at our school. And, you know, and, you know, that's how we do it. I'm like, in my head, I'm screaming, I don't give a fuck what you're doing in your school. I want you to do it this way on the mat. In my head, I'm thinking this, right? Because it's like, you know, did you come here to learn or come here to teach? And more importantly, you know, when you know, are you looking? What are you going to offer me? Excuses or results? Because that's the essence of my life. At the end of the day, I had a boss tell me this, and it was harsh. I was 28 at the time. I went in and I said, hey, you know, sorry about this, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, so what are you going to offer me today, excuses or results? And I'm like, holy fuck, what an asshole. Right?
Damn it, you were right.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I looked for the results, the excuses went away. So when you look at, but see, here's the thing. What drives that? Two things, conditioning and ego, right? People...
Success is a habit.
Yeah, exactly. People have a hard time showing, I won't say frailty, but, you know, failure.
Vulnerability.
And with that goes failure. But you can't grow without vulnerability.
Right.
You know, I share with my clients, I said, you know, look at a lobster. In order for a lobster to grow, it has to shed its shell, and it has to be vulnerable for every time so the new shell grows. And yet, we have lobsters, right?
Yeah.
So be a lobster, man. Let that shit go.
Yeah.
I like the bald eagle analogy. When they turn 40, they have two choices. They can either accept that they're old and die, or go through a very difficult change, which they rip out all their old feathers, they remove their beak, their talons, and after a time of not being able to use any of the things that they depended on to live, they regrow them and live for another 20 years. Stronger.
Like today, I confused it up. I embarrassed not only myself, but Grandmaster Green on the mat for not knowing that in my mind. So guess what I go back and do?
You relearn.
I relearn.
You go back.
I grow, I become stronger.
Right.
Now, most people probably didn't know, didn't care. You know, Vince took care of it.
You knew.
Yeah, Vince, congratulations. Vince is one of our newest associate instructors.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I was quick to be like, well, I thought it was this way.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yep.
hey, Vince, come here.
So, you know, that's the thing. And when you allow yourself to be that way,
Yeah.
people like that.
Yeah, without failure, there's no growth.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I can be vulnerable enough to show that,
Yeah.
what does that give you permission to do?
Be
Same
vulnerable
thing,
too.
yeah.
And when we're vulnerable together, what do we help each other do, hopefully?
Grow stronger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to your point, this is why I do what I do. There's no big mystery, no secret.
Damn.
It's not that complicated.
But no, thank you for all the things that you do. I mean,
No, seriously,
we owe a lot of this
We
what
do.
we do today because of you. And
passive influence or not.
yeah, I mean, we joke about cursing you on it, but that's just our way of saying thank you.
That's our vulnerability.
Yeah.
Everything's
Why
through
do
a
you do
joke. Huh?
Why do you do it?
What, blame you?
No,
Because it's
why do you do this?
why do we do this?
Because of
Because
moments like this.
Yeah.
But why is that important to you?
I'll tell you, because I thought about this for a while.
Yeah.
Why do we even get up every day and try to find people to
Drive
talk to,
wherever we
drive
do.
everywhere and do? I mean, coming back from LA, I was struggling. I had shingles, and I was oh my god, I thought I was gonna die. But at the end of it all, I was able to edit the shows, put them all together, had 4 wonderful interviews with people that we would never even been able to do if I didn't drive out to LA and suck up whatever was going with me and then just do it. And what
still
comes
need
to my
influence.
mind is that we're not doing it for us.
Bullshit.
Wait, because I know where you're coming from. There's something about us for it, yeah, but it's not just about us.
No,
it really
not
isn't.
just about you.
Because when Mark Cardenas came on our show and says,
Wasn't he
"You
great?"
got-
No, yeah.
Dude, this guy set us on the second path. After you told us to do the goddamn show, this guy said, "Here's why you're doing it,"
And we're like, what?
and I'm like, "Well," and to me that was an eye opener. I said,
Yeah. Is that a thing?
"Now we got to go talk to people we really don't know, that we've never met, get their ass on the show, and just talk to them and learn about them." Do we talk about their martial arts? Not really. We talk about what did you do as a kid? Where did you go? I mean, if you hear some of these conversations we had, a lot of
heard
it,
them.
right? And it really isn't about the martial arts. We talk about the person, how they grew up, where they grew up, why did they grow up the way they did. And to us, that was like, and that's what I was doing for it, is to let everybody who doesn't know these people to understand who they were and put a name to those things that they hear about. Oh, I've heard about that person, but because they never saw them. They never had a chance to see them. But here it is, we were able to do this for these people that we barely know. When Mike came on, we never met him.
No.
But we look like
we were old
friends
chums
for
and friends
years,
on that
yeah.
show.
So here's a cat who's driving from Manteca to San Francisco to sit down with 2 guys he's never met before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amazing.
You think that fucking happens by accident? Okay.
That was you.
No.
The linchpin!
No. You're missing my point.
I get it.
No. Mike, so to the point I made the comment earlier about bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody is that pious.
Right.
There's something that's feeding you, and you, whether you want to share it with the group or not, it's up to you guys. I'm just putting the question out there. Why are you doing this?
My reason's nowhere near as grand as what he just put out. Not that it was wrong or bad or anything. To me, my reason is entirely selfish.
Being?
I like meeting unique people and getting to know them, because I feel, if we're talking about gifts, my personal gift, I can understand unique people. I can understand the people that usually are like, yeah, I'm not getting across to anyone, and then they meet me and we talk and they're like, you get it.
So you're giving a voice to people who other people wouldn't listen to.
I'm giving ears.
A voice. Because in order for you to use your ears, they got to use their voice. See, this is the
damn.
stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This
I
is
didn't think of that through.
We never did.
I never do.
There's nothing wrong. I'm just simply saying, this is how I view the world. You asked me.
Right.
This is how I view the world. I wasn't always viewing it this way.
No.
I graduated into this through my training
Right.
and then my conversations with God. But listen, I've been a student of Zig Ziglar and Wayne Dyer for 40 plus years.
Oh yeah, he's
Zig Ziglar said it perfectly. He says, and I took this to heart in my 20s, and I've applied it ever since. And there's two fundamental things that he said. One, he says, his goal at the end of the day is for everybody he comes in contact with, he hopes that as they walk away, he hears them say, "And I'm glad I spent time with that guy." That's my intent coming into any interaction I come into, whether it's this, martial arts, business, a waitress on the casino floor. And all it is kindness. Kindness and servitude.
Right.
We're all martial arts, right? Samurai. Samurai.
Yeah.
You know what samurai means? To serve.
to serve. Yeah.
in the literal sense of to serve. Okay.
And if you
So
read
be a
the
goddamn
history,
servant.
there was
So and nobody in particular, but if you want to model that, be the servant. That starts, and it's servitude is in my opinion the crux of life. The second thing that Zig Ziglar said that I have built a marvelous life on and a wonderful career on is simply this, and it's not any more complicated than this. You get everything in life that you want when you open up other people get what they want.
Right.
It's just that
Good.
simple.
You know what, folks? I think we're going to end it on that remark because we've kind of been doing this for like an hour and a half.
Oh, sorry.
But thank you very much for joining us, Dennis.
Thank you.
Oh, we can keep doing this all night, and I did that with Danny last night until 4 in the morning.
Well, I'm just driving home tomorrow, so we'll meet at the bar and we'll pick this up at the bar.
So you know, folks, my last word on this is this. I'm really glad I got to talk to this guy.
Thank you.
I'm glad I was here this time.
Thank you.
This has been a
Awesome
great
colleague conversation
with me, Rick,
and me, Naeem,
and our good
very
friend and our
special
coach,
guest,
life coach,
He's
and that bastard
charging
who
us
got us
beer.
into this damn thing. God damn it, Dennis.
Well, you're doing good work, so that's a good
Dennis
thing.
Duarte.
Dennis Duarte.
Dennis Duarte.
And
Thank you so much.
3, 2, 1, cut!
Oh, that was good, guys. Thanks.
Oh.